Good evening and welcome to the KILI Storytelling Hour. My name is Brian Georgian Cloud, and Dennis is with me. He will introduce himself. I come up here every Wednesday from 5 to 6 and share story, Ohunkanka, in Lakota we call it Ohunkanka, story stories. I always touch on the Lakota language, and I think we have, I didn't check my bag yet, my computer yet, but we'll have, I think we have something to talk about too.
Yeah.
So I want to thank all you listeners out there. It's a cold evening. If you are traveling and the roads are icy, snowpack, icy, be careful. And it's cold, so stay home and stay warm. Woya ke nesh ohunkanka na ohinya Lakota ya tele iwado na rota kuku na kuyuhi lewe choya ke num yuhi China son ka na Lakota kuku iwado ka cha anagapta na kaptu na yu ha pilauya ali lakhta tu ashte ha to na osnia locha wa pomani mata wa ktawmani polida chankuku shlushlut Maria mata utrechikala. Ocha. Was je kan no kale kapo.
No, thank you, Brian. I'd like to tell KILI Radio thank you for allowing me to be on the radio. Thank you, Brian, and thank the Lakota Nation for allowing me to be up here and have my voice heard. To add to what Brian said, that it is very cold out there. If you have neighbors, elders, children, anything like that, check on them. Every now and then, to make sure that there's wood. These homes that are they need to be heated.
Yeah.
We don't need any we don't need losing people. Because we're ignoring somebody out there. So if you have a neighbor, somebody across the street, next door to you, check on them, please, to make sure everybody's all right. That's the first thing we need to start doing is looking after each other. So it's a good way to start.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's about 10 degrees out there.
Yeah, very cold. One more thing. If you can look out to the east.
And
right.
Yeah.
Look out to the east. That is awesome. I've never seen the moon like that before. It seems like that moon it's almost like right there. it's just coming up over the.
Just like a huge orange
disc.
Yeah.
That's absolutely amazing.
If you have a camera ready, go outside and take a picture and get back inside right away.
Your camera will freeze.
Yeah, that's a really good sight, especially from up here.
From up here, right? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to check it out right now.
And today we had many discussions. We had some really good discussions with our Kancha, Marnie,
mm-hmm.
and Barb, and I think Tanya was in there, and Anthony, and Annie. So if you guys are listening, have a good evening, and we might even touch on some of those, maybe some of those discussions.
Yep.
And then before I get too far, I wanted to say happy birthday to my grandson, Braylon. He celebrated his 3rd birthday Monday. So, Takoja, if you're listening, Happy birthday.
Cowboy.
Cowboy. His name is Cowboy. Yeah, we call him Cowboy. So, and he has chaps, boots, hat. So this evening, we have two stories up here. We have one about Iktomi, and then we have one on the beavers. But before we get into them, I wanted to touch on something that I think you were in there when we were listening, and I think I touched on this last time I came up here. I don't know, I can't remember, but like sometimes when you hear something, and when we hear something or when we say something, the person that receives it, or sometimes not everybody will get the same message. In other words, sometimes we want to hear something, so we hear it like that.
Twist it in your own.
We kind of twist it inside our ears,
mm-hmm.
and then we tell it like that.
Yep.
So that's I don't know what they call that. The word that describes that, but sometimes when people tell us something, we just don't get the person that's telling you something. You might understand it, but then you're going to twist it around. It's going to be twisted around a little bit.
Yes.
By the time you get it into your computer.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's the other side of that is the Lakota language.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like remember, like sometimes we say I have a Lakota in my own thinking, Lakota thinking, my thought. I have a thought. I write that thought down in the English language, and then I translate that into Lakota. And if I look at the translation in English, and I translate right from there, then it's not going to be right.
Right.
Because I think we call that literal translation.
Yes.
So that's, we had a big discussion on that this afternoon, like where, so sometimes we have our Lakota thought, and then of course we have
the English,
the English thought, and sometimes for us, since we're in two cultures, like you're in two cultures.
Yes.
So you think like this, and then I think with my Lakota culture, my Lakota thinking, and then when I see something, then my brain automatically transfers that to the English thought. So it's really hard. Then I try to tell you that, then I'm going to have a hard time telling you what I think
what it actually means.
And I have to translate that to the
English language.
Yeah.
There's a lot of factors that go in with that. When you're speaking to somebody, maybe you've had a run-in with them the day before.
Yeah.
So what's your mindset when you're talking to somebody? Do you even like that person that they're trying to tell you something? Then there's a lot of things that go into that, and I know exactly what you're saying. That your mind has to be open.
Yeah.
Especially now you're talking about two languages, a language that I'm learning, and it's frustrating, wanting to know everything. Part of that can be, you are a fluent Lakota speaker, and that can be frustrating trying to explain something a story even to somebody that only speaks English.
Yeah.
Now you're trying to turn all these words into English and tell the story. That can be frustrating. That was another point you guys brought up.
Yeah. And this question came up. I think you and I were there at the summit, and the word "ikjewichasha." Remember that?
Yeah.
And I remember that because I think Manny was doing the presentation.
Yes.
And the ikjewichasha, the term ikjewichasha or ikjewichasha. Ikje means something that's really common. Ikje or ikje.
Ikje.
Yeah. And then wichasha, of course, man. So someone from the audience said, "What does that mean?" So it was kind of quiet. So I asked one of my Kanahashi from Standing Rock, and he got up there and he touched on what that means to him. Okay, for him, the ikjewichasha, like I always, for me, it's like like you and I, common man.
Right.
Ikjewichasha. Okay. And then what he added on there was common men are all equal. In other words, I'm not way over your head, or I'm not way down here. Both of us are equal, because and that's how they live, the common man. So that see right there, that maybe some of those people in there, if it was not told like that or defined like that, then maybe somebody will come away from there thinking, what is a ikjewichasha? What is it anyway? Who are
that?
They?
And on that note too, that common man, where I come from Michigan, and anybody that speaks the Lakota language to me is uncommon. That's special.
Yeah,
I mean, to me, that's just the way that I look at it. As much as I could want to wave a wand and learn the Lakota language overnight, it will not happen.
Yeah.
So to me, when I see two individuals, elders or anyone for that matter, speaking Lakota fluently to each other, to me that's uncommon. That's special. Me, I'm just a common man. I'm trying to learn Lakota, and that can be different. That the thoughts can be different. And I've said it before, and I've told you that you're not supposed to be jealous, carry yourself in a jealous way. But once again, when I see two Lakota elders, with the sisters and you and Baba, and I see I am jealous because I do wish I was fluent, but that's something that I'm working on.
Yeah,
but to me, ikjewichasha is different. That's to me, to speak two languages. That's uncommon. That's just my thought anyway. It's not. So like you said, when you take away something like that, common man can mean different things to everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. And so we'll just leave it there. And I'm sure there's some of you listeners out there. Some of you they have meetings.
Yes.
Especially like that. I think that where that came from was I think that this presentation was on Teoshpai meeting.
Yes.
So Teoshpai is families, and then families are of course man and wife, Wichasha and Mia and Wakhair. So then that's where that common man
comes from.
Yeah, comes from. So that was a very interesting presentation. I enjoyed it. So sometimes we have, I think what I'm trying to get around to is like that sometimes like you want to explain something that you said in English in your own Lakota thinking, and it's really hard. Yeah. And sometimes when you do explain it, it may not be later on you're going to think about it and you're going to say like, but it's going to be the same thought just about, but then it's not going to be exactly what you had in mind in your Lakota thinking. And that's where I think you mentioned that earlier. We had about the left brain and the right brain.
Right brain, yes.
Brain, what do you call that? Left brain and right brain.
Thinking.
Thinking, yeah. I don't know where that. What do you want to call that? Philosophy.
Philosophy.
Yeah.
Basically,
that's someone's philosophy. Richard. Little Bear.
Little Bear.
Yeah. He taught, and then that came from other people too, maybe Maslow. Or something like
yes, stems from choice theory that Native people are right brain dominant.
Yeah.
And we don't live inside the box. We live outside that box, making these choices and we're not. I'm not saying we're not as structured, but we're more artistic. We tend to do our own thing. The laws and rules. I'm not saying don't apply to us, but we tend to skirt around the edges and live outside that box. So,
well, here's another thought. See what you think about this. Are we trying to make all kinds of excuses because the Lakota language we're not really getting it or putting it across, or we're saying, okay, because we're left brain, because we're right brain, or because we're not understanding each other, or maybe I'm not explaining things the way I'm thinking, or
the way I look at it, like language almost being an art.
Yeah.
So we should be able to pick up on that a lot easier as Lakota people. But to me, it's hard. I'm not going to lie to you. It is. To me, it's difficult. It's very difficult, but it's just something. Rome wasn't built in a night. This language won't be learned overnight. So the only thing, and we'll go back to those other words that you said: perseverance and fortitude.
Yep.
That's something that we believe in as Lakota people. It's something that I have to follow.
Yeah, we always have the words commitment and perseverance here.
Yeah.
So if you want to speak the Lakota language, then you got to persevere and you got to be committed and you got to do it all the time.
Yeah, they're really.
You can't just do it on
Tuesday
and then on Saturday.
You won't get anywhere. And that's the thing too, is that there is no excuses.
No.
There really is no excuse why we can't learn this language, teach this language. There is no excuse. To me anyway, that's my own personal thought. There is no excuse why we can't learn this Lakota language.
The other one was the word immersion today. Were you there when we
no, I
immersion?
Yeah, I stepped out.
Okay. The word immersion is okay. When we hear that word immersion, then we think that and that's good. That's okay. That's what it is, because when you walk through that door, and if this was an immersion room, then you're going to just speak Lakota.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just speak Lakota to you, and that's all. No English, nothing. But today, the immersion is, especially when you're doing it at a school, like we're doing. But there's got to be there's some English language in there. There's
Yeah.
got to be some.
Some.
There's no way you can go around them. I mean, at one time I said, I'm going to go around them, but we can't do that.
Can't do that.
Or maybe we can. Maybe we still can do it. And I think that's what we were talking about today. Maybe we can make a road or a path so that we can still do that and still do the things that we're supposed to do. The law, we have laws.
Laws.
When you have somebody that's like the South Dakota state and the United States government, and they're saying, I'll give you this much money, you got to do it like that.
Do it like this. Wow.
Then we're going to figure out how to get around that, still keep that money, and still make all the requirements or
so now
things that we're supposed to do.
So now you're using that native side of your brain, skirting the edges. But that's the thing is that, and we talked about this before, that I didn't realize, first coming to this reservation, that how much really was involved, living in two worlds, two cultures, two languages. There's so much involved with this, and then now you throw in laws and regulations and teaching these kids two separate things. And on top of that is, you're trying to do something, with the cultural immersion, like we're doing at Wounded Knee, and you're doing a very good job of it. But I see there's an ultimate goal, and who had said that that by any means necessary, whether you have to take some shortcuts or do whatever. In the end, you're trying to produce culturally competent children, fluent Lakota speakers. How you get there, that's your choice. But the ultimate goal is to create kids that are more culturally aware and that speak the language. How you get there, that's just an avenue that'll be forgotten. Eventually, that'll be forgotten. But the end result is what really matters.
And I hope I shouldn't say I hope, we will get there. And as long as we persevere and as long as we're committed, and we do it all the time.
Right.
One of those little children who speak Lakota. And that's our goal.
And then, immersion. I was thinking about this about a month ago. Immersion, like you're washing dishes. As a plate immersed in the water. That's the thing is that it's like a bathtub. You're going to get halfway in or halfway out. So that's the very difficult thing that you brought up is that. A lot of these kids they come from English-speaking homes, so you're kind of fighting that. Because we were talking to, Josh at work, and he was telling me, being a cultural immersion school, that we were talking about that, and it almost instills a sense of pride, even in the adults, even in the staff, that these kids are trying to do this. The younger kids, all throughout the school. If they're trying to do it, why can't we do it?
Yep.
So that also is helping. The Lakota language. We talked about that before. Is the adults, the staff. You're never too old to learn. To learn a new language. That's our language. Yep. This we don't share this. This language isn't shared with Canadians or anybody else. These are we're Lakota, and this is something that was given to us that we need to carry it on. So.
Well, again, you're listening to KILI Storytelling Hour, and I want to thank all you listeners. This KILI goes all the way to Rapid City, goes to Rosebud, it goes to Cheyenne River, it goes to Rogeville, Gordon, and then it goes on the internet, KILIradio.org. And I want to thank all you listeners out there. Whoever's listening out there, thank you for listening. And there's one person out there, or I don't know, and whoever is recording this and is putting on the internet, we want to say thank you.
Thank you
thank you very much, because we want to thank you for doing this and putting our Lakota language out there. So about this time, I have a story here, and we have two short stories here. And the first one is Iktomi sees his reflection. And then I want to thank my wife, Karen, for typing this out.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Karen. And you want to do the Lakota, and I'll do the... Oh, no, I mean, I'll do the you do the English, and I'll do the Lakota.
Okay.
And we're going to turn this around someday. We're going
to,
and that's our goal. That's our goal. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. Iktomi sees his reflection. Long ago, Iktomi crawled out of his den in a hillside on a fine, beautiful day and decided to take a walk. At the bottom of the hill, he came to a pond with sparkling blue water. He lay down on his stomach at the edge to take a drink. Suddenly, a face appeared below him, a familiar face, mimicking everything he did. If Iktomi raised his eyebrows, the face in the pond did the same. After several moments, he realized the face was his. Iktomi spent the rest of the day admiring his reflection. After the sun went down, he returned to his den. The next morning, the wind was blowing as Iktomi arrived at the pond. He was dismayed to find that his reflection in the water was distorted. As the day went on, the wind blew harder, and Iktomi's image in the water did not improve. Angry and confused, he stomped home. Bright and early the next morning, he awoke to a cold, rainy day. Nevertheless, he hurried to the pond. The reflection he saw in the water was nothing more than a shadow. Confused, he trudged back to his den. The following day, the rain had stopped, but dark clouds filled the sky. Iktomi saw his reflection in the pond, but it was a dark and angry face. He was about to slink away in anger when he heard laughter. Fox was giggling at Iktomi's confusion. The fox explained, or tried to explain, that the images were different because of the wind, the rain, and the dark clouds. But Iktomi didn't listen. Choosing instead to hang on to his anger and confusion, he never could figure out which of the reflections in the pond was really him.
I'll tell this in Lakota language, and then we'll talk about it. Iktomi waingalakif. Ihani Iktomi Bahagalagala teacher Tuki Stimangana Checha Ampetual Dila Petuastikapi Omani Wanapahat Kuta Kaina Kuta Hunikjan help Lewanka Helen Katsa Lila Oangastia Kanchecha Tuki Wiak Palanka El Blaska yumkin na Blaskach pa na maniatka to kimenichinan chet ganahalaka in wangalaka wichite wanke to ki he na he wangalaka ka wangalaka pa na ha takuku echo I khanaish to kinakun zeka ichina hata le wangla ke le isha chestis na chu chi wang ta kun khosh menil wanigla ke hata tak wala kinkta yotan slila utkhay hata tawato han wang khpa hinna wangla khpa hinna toki dila yokpi. Wima hiya waha ki hektakia. Istima hina toki wota hina hiha nila ketoki. Aketoki wangala kuntan chechech. Ichuna toki nakun khate ahi. Ila khate. Iktomi le belegle cha kena kebras kena wangala ka. Toki ake lila ta wangala ta kechin kham. Toki lo chin khate cha toki le minik kitana chan le wangala ke le toki yesnis eleja. Ona chahela petu hata to ona kha watoha un kha etna lila khate ha gana wasake chata wangala ko kishne iswas teshne chalila tsazeke na tsazeka ki hone toki yukchen khpa la kha ke hianel khtekta وهي بتكش للا أصني نكون مغاج وهي شتنا بلغلتش إذا كبر سكين كنا وينغلاك كاش آتا وينغلاك كيش نهانا آتا تا كاتا ليلا تشزيك هكتا كيا كيك بحار لغلا تيجي تشاكي كيكي كتانا وانا كيكوتا كاياش هيش أبيتو كها مغاج نديلا مخبيا كاتا وتخنشني اكتومي اكي بلغلتش إنا وينغلا كاش هانا آتاش وينغلا كوكيشني تاتا كيلي لا إغلوش نزكا ليلا تنزكا هانو غناها لكا توائي خاطا نخن شغماني تو إتا إخاطا شغماني تغلو كي أكي اكتومي لما نقول كهيك اللي وين تاما نقول نكتشني لوي لتخطينا لنكون لمغاجو لنكون لمخبيا كلنا لنا هيك على هاش اكتمي أكاش أنا غبتشين لتوكي هيك نتصرك لنكون داكوي هيك أكي صليشن هذا توهني سلينكتش من نشجع هيك إيهانك. The source of this story came from Walking with Grandfather by Joseph Marshall. So what did we get out of this? What? There's always a lesson when you tell a story. Yeah. So the moral of the story, that people and circumstances would continuously try to change. My sense of identity, and the best and only way to face that was to remember who I am. If we don't know who and what we are, we'll likely react like Iktomi. When the reflections of ourselves gives us changes now and then, unless we are aware that there is a basic core to who and what we are, we will see only the image that others see as us. That will cause us to be angry, frightened, and confused.
Mm-hmm. You're really the first, it was the first couple sentences that really got me there. People and circumstances will try to change who you are. Mm-hmm. People and circumstances will try to change who you are. And the only way to combat something like that was to remember who you are. Know who you are.
Yeah.
And try not to be somebody that you're not. And that could, that could a lot of
hurt yourself.
Now
Yeah.
you're talking even cultures.
Yeah.
If you want to live so bad in the white culture, but you are Lakota, it's how you see yourself.
Or if you want to be somebody that you can't be, you want to look like, and then so you get mad at yourself.
Get mad at yourself.
Or maybe you'll give up.
Yep.
And you know that you what is it? Be yourself.
Yeah, be yourself.
Yeah. And you can never be that or this or somebody that's doing like I always want to be a pilot.
Right.
But I will never be a pilot.
Right. Right. Exactly.
Or maybe a bull rider or something.
Realize your goals.
Yeah.
I know that I will never be an astronaut. That's a fact. I'll be a school teacher. There's certain, instead of living up here, sometimes you have to realize, and that's not to take away goals and stuff like that, but you have to realize who you are and realize who you are and strive to be the best person that you can be.
The other one is like in the schools, like the what they wear is different.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they see somebody that dressed like that, so they wear it, and they want to be like them, but they will never be that, or what?
And a lot of that's TV. Go back to TV.
Yeah.
That's just not here on Pine Ridge. It's even in Michigan, where I used to live. The kids there, same exact thing.
Mm-hmm.
They see somebody on MTV, that's the latest fashion. That's how I want to dress, because if I dress like this and act like this, maybe I can become that, which isn't always a good thing.
I was thinking about that the other day. In fact, I was talking to Karen about this last night. Okay, but I have two thoughts. Okay, that one thought is like in schools, like one we're at now. Okay, we say, okay, don't wear a cap in class. Don't wear, if you have a hood on, don't put that hood over your head, especially when you're inside in the classroom. And the other one is, you see this all over, not only on the reservations, but all over, people wear their pants all the way down.
Yeah.
And that do they have suspenders underneath?
I don't know.
Anyway, those are kinds of things like, those are changes maybe, or maybe those are things that maybe somebody did it somewhere and we want to do it too.
Yep.
Something like that.
Well, like you said, there's two things that you can see out of there. And by no means am I saying that, without hard work you can strive to do whatever you want, because anything's possible.
Yeah.
But, I've come to the self-realization that there's certain things that I have to do, to do my job well. And one of them is, dressing properly, doing the right things, trying to be the best role model I can be, certain things like that. But a lot of it is, I'm not going to blame TV like everybody else, but that's where a lot of it comes from. The fashions and statements that some of it's positive, but to me a lot of it's negative. And I don't want to, sound like a killjoy, but
this has maybe nothing to do with this, but it is on dressing. Karen was watching this channel on how to dress.
Yeah.
You ever watch that? In other words, they'll take you in there and they'll buy you, they'll give you some money and you go buy your clothes.
Yeah.
And then they'll tell you to, okay, wear this like this, wear pants, shirt. But see, we have, this might go back to cultural too, because in our culture, in my culture, I wear Wranglers, rivets.
Yep.
That's got to have rivets on the side.
Yep.
It can't be any other Wrangler. There's two types of Wranglers. Okay, Wranglers without rivets and Wranglers with rivets.
With rivets.
Okay, so I got to have a rivet. So now I have to have I used to wear shirts. But now I wear these because winter times. I wear these because they're comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And because we don't like. I worked at a school where one time that every Tuesday you have to everybody has to wear a tie.
Tie.
You would find a tie in my in my closet.
Bolo tie.
I got a lot of bolo ties. So that's different, right?
Yeah.
That's different. And boots. Maybe there's boots. Different kinds of shoes. So the countries are different too, right? Where you are.
Yeah.
Like when you go to Detroit, you probably see the.
You know,
you don't see Wranglers, right?
No, that's the thing. You know, when I go back home to Michigan, camouflage Carhartts and Doc Martens. Yeah. Doc Marten boots. That's camouflage is big. Anything Carhartt is big. You'd honestly you'd be an alien if you showed up with cowboy boots, Wranglers, and a pearl button shirt. You would be an alien.
It's got to be a Justin boot or Acme, not Walmart. I'm not saying Walmart's bad.
You know, rivets, no rivet Wranglers. They don't care because nobody they don't wear those.
You can have rivets, bunch of rivets. Right. They don't care.
But you know, out here. It's different, you know, because I started putting my stuff together, you know, with the cowboy hat and the bolo ties, and if I was to do that back home, they'd call me crazy, but here I would fit right in.
Yeah.
So, and like you said, it's cross-cultural. And
cap, you have to wear cap too. And you don't wear those little hats.
Right.
I don't know what you call them. Like Tom wears that cap. What do you call that? The flat hat with the little.
Oh yeah, I forget what those are called.
Yeah.
See a lot of There's a lot of Irish friends in Michigan that wear those hats.
Yeah. So anyway, it's. I think sometimes we want to be like that, but we can't be. We want to be there, but we can't be there.
Yeah.
But we always have to be just know who we are and what I am, and know my limits, right, or whatever.
That
I know.
You said it exactly right. In going back to my dress, you know, with the bolo tie, the cowboy hat, that's really not who I am.
Yeah.
Truly. And if it's something that I wouldn't wear in Michigan, that's really not who I am. I'm playing dress up or whatever out here. You know, just because I'll fit in, but I would never wear anything like that back home. So I know exactly what you're saying now.
Well, I hope we didn't make anybody mad. Keep wearing your bolo tie.
Yeah.
We have one more story here before. It's called The Beavers. Okay? That's a short story.
Okay.
And there's going to be a lesson on this one, too.
Yes. A community of beavers, Chapa, one day decided to build a bridge or a dam across the river where their lodge is located. Maybe the river is going dry or something. They talked about how to go about cutting the trees for the materials they need. Cutting tools such as axes and saws were unknown to them. In fact, they weren't invented. Even if they have the tools, they won't be able to use them because they don't have hands to operate the equipment. So they called a meeting, and after some discussion, they decided to go to the timber area where the big trees are and use their teeth to cut them down and use the branches for the dam. Once arriving at the location, they circled around a big tree and started gnawing at the bottom. They probably weren't aware that Mother Nature had already equipped them with teeth so big and sharp for this purpose. After some time of chewing and gnawing, they knocked down a tree and all ran towards the water and dove in with a chump, the sound of water splashing described in Lakota. Every time they downed a tree, they would jump back in the water, making a game out of it. This continued for some time. Again, as they sat down around another tree, an eager beaver began overdoing it. He took a big bite out of the wood and got his teeth stuck in the wood. So, as the others looking on, he tried to get loose, but with not much success. The eager beaver began hollering, pulled, jumped, grunted. With the valuable lesson learned, he finally got loose. The lesson to be learned from this story is, do not overestimate your capabilities. Be yourself. Like the beaver, you might make a fool of yourself and embarrass your friends.
Lakota black and hand took she went like chapa and war like a chapa I took he umping and such a is tiwa is tios spices umping and the minikile na le handpus ay wakpala ke na chatokish ke chumpon kha na thaka aktigale yuk chump acha watohan ya in Dominice явно чече. Она иола кана я миникиле на тхака така. Она докишке чунг таки he cha это чанли лаута чахе ха. Дей хани на чече. Cha ота чахе на ямка. Но таку ча унлена и ямка is ваксак таки. Дена Домinice ха. Чим тагани хоч назус пеннай чаивак сей на слаб на на карапшни зачем на кош она на кош на юкхаш чин умокиптеш чин на певани чап на пеик хамшни асиов исиг хам хотя югалака токшишке чумпун хална и чунке ха una minikile na tkhaka ik ga in tindila hit khankia ota lena ekta ihuni na ha cha homni na jina ha hikit on ata fakha khan yanka otan slolapi lena vichaka gabhe ha Taku la khahigi hi khapi hi thakia lila sita ochalena ochayanga ochata chantona ata likhta chan jiwana kaunk nikta chan menikta ipsita eses na mahia ona chan jiyanka chan yo hila chan jiwana ta kaunk nikta chan minimahel kigala kigenuksna kigala Lecho hapon khawanji muji to KILI in khletesete is sangite ata chon la khankas lila pakha khwana ha ata yakhtak hand ektane to ki yishtu kisne ata hel in rahea una galtitan ha nangwagwa kin ha khlokhlo as atas yishtu kisne watohan Lishpu. Na ha toki ha aichiblas. Ata wanasle ha hechmtest. Ho hechas levi choya ki ayaka. Ole takwa in leta wons pema le chapa klik chukile. Khostakun Oyakish napa is na kun sandwich is nyo yapi. Ohe. at Hechanohan Tuganos Inichat out, Tuganos Nako is still niching. So the lesson to be learned from this story is do not overestimate your capabilities. Be yourself, like the beaver. Well, be yourself. Like the beaver, you might make a fool of yourself and embarrass your friends.
Yes.
So like I said, there's a long time ago when they tell these stories in the evenings, there's always a lesson in there.
Yep.
Always. And then on this one here, I think you did some research on the beavers before we left.
Did you write that down?
I wrote one down here. Where did I put that down? Okay, here. They can a pair of beavers can knock down 400 trees a year.
400 trees a year. That's wow.
That's too many trees nowadays.
Because the beavers are part of the rodent family.
Yeah.
So it's like a huge rat, a 60-pound rat with 4-inch teeth. Well, of course they're going to have power. Power in their jaws.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And really, that's what they exist off of.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Is tree bark and wood.
Yep.
So obviously they have to have stomachs like billy goats. They can digest anything.
And then it says here that it can be underwater 15 minutes. That's a long time.
Because they've adapted lungs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And no, 15 minutes. That's how long can a man stay underwater?
What's the record? The record's what, 19 minutes?
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's. I don't know how long I can stay underwater. Maybe a couple minutes.
Yeah, I've never tried.
Don't try it out there.
Don't try it.
It's cold. It's cold. Yeah. Well, that's. I hope that you enjoy these stories, and we'll look for some more. I have a whole bag full, so we'll bring 1 or 2 again next week. And I want to thank all you people that listened tonight. And if you're traveling, travel safely. And doksha ke leto konjik takuku unkoya koktelo. Lilach tatu ashte hapo.
And I'd like to say hi to Lillian Whiteface. She is the Lakota language teacher at Chokwe Opi. Our prayers are with her, and we hope she gets better and can make it back to school. Just wanted to let her know that we are thinking about her and we are praying for her. So, and that's to Lillian Whiteface out there. And I'd like to say hi to my friend Mary. I hope you're listening, and thank KILI Radio for allowing us to be on.
Yeah.
I really appreciate this.
Okay.
Okay. Doksha.